Guys, so I know you're probably wondering, why doesn't the crib have a crib sheet? Or maybe you're not wondering that, but it's because the crib sheet's in the washer. Anywho, isn't that weird? It's like a camera watching a camera. Camera watching a camera. I have to get myself together. So anyway, I just started a new position at a job, so it just works out that now when I get home I actually have a little mommy time. It's only about an hour, but it's like, it's a well-needed hour. It's an hour to record, hour to shower, hour to find my clothes, hour to cook if I want to. It's just an hour to do something freely, to be able to breathe while I do that. Isn't that annoying that my camera just went on like 1 bar? I just wanted to take a video to just express to you guys how my labor and delivery went. I think it's a pretty interesting story. It was pretty fast, but it was pretty interesting to me. So hence the crib background and everything. You see what I did there? Did we all see what I did there? So anywho, if my camera dies, probably see like a glitch and a little change in scenery or something, because I'm gonna have to charge that for sure. I should have thought about that before I left the house. Anyway, for all who don't know, I am married. Of course you guys know that if you've watched my other vlogs, but if you did not watch my other vlogs, I am married. I got pregnant when I was 19, literally 2 days before my 20th birthday. I found out I was pregnant and I was nervous. Who wouldn't be? I was very nervous. I was very excited. You know, it was something new for me. I don't know. I wasn't like, oh, I want to have a baby. You know, like to me it was never that feeling. I didn't even cry actually when I found out, which I thought that I would if I did find out I was pregnant, but I just didn't. I was just like, that was literally me, because I was by myself. Like I was by myself when I found out. I was like blowing my husband's phone off the hook, but he works in a call center. At the time he did, and so he wasn't answering. It was just like, it was crazy. So anyway, I had taken like 6 pregnancy tests, y'all. 6. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even digital. Even the one that said pregnant, I still took another one with the cross. Like, I just had to be like so sure. But anyway, I took 6 in total, but that night that I found out, I took 3 pregnancy tests. I can't even remember the brands. One was for like 88 cents at Walmart, which came out so clear, and 2 was first response. Wait, 1 came out clear, 1 was kind of blurred off. So Eric had taken didn't take his badge to work, so I ended up going to pick him up, and I put all 3 pregnancy tests inside of his badge pouch. So he gets in the car and he's like looking at me because I blew up his phone, of course. And he takes them out of his badge and he's looking at all 3 of them, and he's like, but this one's blurry. Are you sure? And I'm like, dude, 2 of the 3 say pregnant, and the last one says pregnant, just less pregnant. What do you mean, am I sure? Are you crazy, dude? But anywho, after that, he was just giving smiles, and he had the nerve to call me Mama Bear, and it was just awkward. I was like super blushy, and just, it was just weird knowing that like something was growing inside of me. Like I couldn't even believe it. Then the reality hit. Boom. You gotta tell your mom and dad. Anywho, that's a story for another time, how I told my sister and my friends and my, you know. But anywho, yeah, so maybe I did that a little backwards. Maybe I should have told that part and then told how I told my family and then went to my labor and delivery story. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll make sure to post it back to back so that you guys don't have to wait, since I just did that annoying intro where you guys thought I was going to do labor and delivery. Now I'm just deciding mid-video to do how I told everyone. You'll get both either way. But I guess I'll just start with that one then. I'll come back to labor and delivery. Anywho. So that's how I told Eric. But before I had told Eric, I text my sister and my best friend at the same time. So I'm like, would you rather be called Aunt this or Aunt that? And I gave them both nicknames. My best friend was Myweez or Nyasia, and my sister was Ping or Riche. So Auntie Ping or Auntie Riche, or Auntie Myweez or Auntie Nyasia. And my sister calls me on FaceTime, and I'm like, hey, like, how are you? And she's like, I'm good. She's like, you're not pregnant? Her husband was around. Like, she's like, oh my gosh, she just wasn't supposed to go that way. But anyway, I flipped the camera and I showed her the test, and she's like, ah! She's like screaming. She was super happy because we always, prayed that no matter when it was, that we would be pregnant together. So she hadn't been pregnant at that time. We found out later that she was pregnant later down the line. We have our beautiful nephew now. But anyway, and then my best friend calls me like a little later. She's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, she didn't even ask like anything. I didn't tell her anymore. I just asked her Aunt this or Aunt that. So she got the clue clearly. For my mom, like I said, I found out 3 days before my birthday. So on my birthday, my mom decided she wanted to take me out to dinner, me and my husband, and we're in the car and I'm texting my husband. I'm like, I'm so nervous. Like, what do I tell her? He's like, just say it. I'm like, no. Do you know how hard it is to just ride in the front seat next to your mom with your husband in the back, knowing that you're pregnant and you haven't told her for 2 days? It was like, oh my gosh, it was like literally somebody sat a car on my chest. It was terrible. I don't hold secrets from my mom or dad. So it was like, woo, like I did not know what to do. So we pull up to the restaurant. Where did we go? Is it Sofritos? It's not Sofritos. Maybe it is. I don't know. Some place that my mom really likes. And we pull up, and I just text my husband. I'm like, I'm gonna tell her. And he's like, okay. Like, he just doesn't care. I'm like, okay. So I turn to my mom, and I'm like, okay, I'm the passenger. So I turn this way, and I'm like, Mom, you know you're my best friend, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, so I can tell you anything? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, just like busted out in tears. And I'm like, I thought for sure she was just gonna reach over. That's how it's gonna go. That's literally what I saw happening in slow motion. But it was like, oh, like, she just gave me a hug and she was so happy. I was like, oh, my glass is still on straight, like, jaw still locked tight, nose still good, like, I was so nervous. That's always how I pictured it. Like, I am technically only 20, I just got married, like, I was just so nervous. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. So we ended up enjoying our dinner, whatever. My uncle went. I could not tell him that. I just couldn't. I wasn't ready for another reaction. I had just gotten my mom out of the way. So yeah. Then I went over to my mom's house after, and my dad calls me. He's like, hey, Reese Park, how's it going? And I'm like, it's good. It's just going. Like, I hadn't told him yet. So he's like, how are you? How's everything? You know, regular hey there conversation. And I just hung up. And I look at my mom. My mom's looking at me. I'm looking at my mom. And she's looking at me. And she's like, are you going to tell him? And I was like, I don't know how. And she's like, just say it. Because my dad's like 4 hours away from here. So it's not like he could just jump through the phone, you know. So I called my dad back, and of course it was weird because he just called me. So for me calling him back, it was like, okay. So he's like, hey, Reese Park, and I'm like, hey. And he's like, what's going on? Mind you, I called him, so he shouldn't be asking me anything. So I'm like, you're gonna be a grandpa again. And I like bust out in tears, and he's like, really? Who? You? And I'm like, yes, I was scared to tell you. He's like, why? That's something to be happy about. If somebody would have told me that they were going to be like super duper excited, then I wouldn't have been stressing with like migraines and stuff for the past couple days. That was just crazy. Eric's side of the family, I went to his house and I was sitting on the couch and I just straight up told his sister, I was like, Rhonda, I'm pregnant. I was just over it by then, like whatever. If you're going to knock me out, just knock me out. If you're going to be happy, just be happy for me, because I was just tired of stressing. Tired of it. So, she was like, I knew it. She's like, when I think they had a Super Bowl party or something, I just told him I wasn't feeling well. I didn't even know I was pregnant at that time, but she apparently knew. People always know before you know, right? Right? Yeah. So anywho, she just knew. Soon as I tell her, boom comes Mom Tina. That's my mother-in-law. And I'm like, why? Why is there always more people to tell Jesus? Why? Why is there just always more people to tell? And now that I think about it, why did Eric let me go through that? Why didn't he tell his side of the family? I'm going to get him when he gets home. Yep, I'm going to get him. He made me go through all that when he could have said something. I told all my family. He could have told his family. You see? You think he's slick. That's cool. That's cool. Anyway. So she comes to the door and I'm looking at Rhonda because I literally just told her. She's like, just say it. I just can't just say it. I only just said it to her. Like, so anyway, as soon as she walks in, I literally just blurt out. I'm like, you're going to be a grandma again. And I reach for a hug. Like, I'm just hoping that I get a hug. Reaching for a hug. She hugs me back. She's like, oh, that's so nice. Y'all, I was just so happy it was over telling people. From then, it was like through the grapevine, everybody just heard Reese is pregnant, Reese is pregnant, Reese is pregnant, Reese is pregnant, Reese is pregnant. Like, just all over the place. So, if you're pregnant and you're afraid to tell somebody just because you're afraid, not because of like the whole wait 12 weeks thing or whatever, just tell them. Majority of the time, they're going to be happy for you. And if they are not happy for you initially, they're probably going to be happy for you. Like, people love babies. Like, after a while, I realized it wasn't about me. It wasn't about Eric. It was about the baby, the life we were creating. It was like, no longer, how are you? It was like, how's the baby? Like, even when she was in my belly, it was like, hey, how's the baby? Oh, I think she's good. I'm pretty sure she's curled up in my uterus, you know, just doing her thing. Like, I'm okay though. I'm only throwing up every single day and losing all my weight, just getting humongous. That's all. But it's okay. I understand. The baby. It's all about the baby. I get it though. Nope. Nobody even asked about Eric. So I feel bad for him. Like, it's like baby, mom, then dad on the pregnancy totem pole. Oh, that sucks. Maybe I shouldn't get him for making me tell, because then he had to go through all that, nobody asking how he was. I would at least get some how my's. But that's basically how I told my family I was pregnant. Nothing exciting. Maybe in the next 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 years, when I have another child, I'll do something more exciting. Probably. I said probably. But anywho, let me go ahead and charge my camera, and then I will have to post my labor and delivery story, and it'll actually be my labor and delivery story. But anywho, I think that, you know, 8 months in, I don't look too bad. Post baby, you know. I have to slide some pictures in there or whatever, so I think I'm doing pretty good. But let me tell you, my labor and delivery is not all, you know, jokes and stuff, because a sister went through postpartum. Yeah, I said it. I went through postpartum. And it wasn't easy. Y'all not gonna believe me when I say I know I'm all happy and stuff on camera, but sometimes what people show you isn't really what it is, you know? So God is healing me. But that's for the next video. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, if you just feel like talking to me in private, I have a Facebook. You can look me up under my name, Reese Quarles, R-I-I-S-E, last name Q-U-A-R-L-E-S. You can find me. If you are already my friend, you can inbox me. Let me know if you have any questions about how I told my family that I was pregnant, reactions, feelings, what test to take, what test not to take, which one gave me better results and different results.